everybody. I normally don't come on at the very beginning of my videos, but I wanted to explain what's going on in this one. So we are working on a Geode Tumbler, and I'll take you through all the steps and everything of how I did it. The very last part of the video is going to be the end of this video because I have developed an allergy to epoxy. You can tell I sound kind of snotty and gross, but after I got done doing the coat on this tumbler to seal the glitter in, my eyes almost swelled shut. And I use a respirator mask, I use goggles, I use gloves, all that good stuff. But this happens to me every now and then after Christmas, and I kind of have to stay away from epoxy for the next few months. So at the end of this video, you'll hear me say, I'll come back and show you the final product. Well, you're seeing the final product. So the whole video, it's showing you the entire process, and it shows you what it's going to look like at the end without the final coat of epoxy on it. It just needs 1 or 2 more coats of epoxy, which is not going to get done for another month or 2. So I just kind of wanted to come on and explain that. So with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. The next few let me see if I can talk. The next few videos are going to be using Bright Tone from the Crystalac company. So you'll kind of see what I do with those. I've used this before. I use it probably the first 3 months out of every year, just because there's so many Christmas orders and I use so much epoxy during Christmas, it just gets to me. So the next few tutorials you'll see here in the next week or so, I have several that I'm fixing to put out. So you'll see those, and they'll be with Crystalac. So they may just be about processes. So, but we'll get to those and we'll show you what to do. So with all that being said, again, let's get to the video and we will show you how to make this gorgeous Geode Tumbler. I will see you guys later. Bye. Okay guys, for this tutorial, we are going to use a 24-ounce Hogdle. This is from the Stainless Depot. And I have spray painted this cup white, and you can see a little bit of mess up where I did, and I actually spray painted over a design that was already on this cup, so I'm reusing this cup. It was just a alcohol ink. The glitters we're going to be using are Skipper from the Glitter Heart Co., Prussian Blue from the Glitter Grind, which is a gorgeous holographic blue. It's really pretty. And then the other blue is Heaven Sent from PDB Creative Studio, and it has some silver and it's a little bit chunky. It's a really pretty glitter too. Then we're going to use a silver bullet from Glitter Heart Co. And that's going to be kind of our outline there. So I'm kind of using just blues and silvers. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take you'll see I have just a regular old paintbrush, and I'm going to adhere the glitter with Crystalac's glitter glue, which is my absolute favorite glue, a lot better than Mod Podge. So we're just going to use just a regular old Walmart brush. So I'm going to take my glitter glue and I'm just going to put a little bit in this cup, and you'll see me fiddle with this because it's either got, I can't remember if it has a dry lid or if I haven't used it before. I think it just dried on top is what happened. So I'll just squeeze a little bit into that cup just so I can dip my paintbrush into that glue. So basically with the Geode, there's really no way to mess up a Geode tumbler. It's going to turn out pretty however you do it. So you're just going to dip your brush into the glue, and you're just going to make basically an outline on your cup. And you're going to start with the outside outline, and you're just going to draw a oval, a square, a rectangle, whatever you want, just in the area you want that first glitter to go in. So it's like I said, there's really no way to mess it up. It's pretty easy to do. And we're gonna actually start, I think we're actually gonna start with the Skipper from Glitter Heart Co., because it's my favorite one and I like it. So it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't want it to be perfect to be, on a Geode. You want it to look kind of like the inside of a Geode rock, there's no shape, no uniform to it. So you're just going to go in and just do your first layer. And all the excess glitter that comes out on this, you can actually just dust it off the cup. It's not that big of a deal. And if you miss a couple of spots, you can actually go in and just put a little bit more glitter glue on it and just redo, and you know, just put more glitter on it if you miss a spot or two. So there is our outside area, and you can clean it up. And I think I actually do clean that up a little bit with I'm just using a little piece of paper towel. So there's the outside layer of our geode shape. So now we're just going to go in and do the next layer. And I'm just going right beside that glitter to do the next layer. And I'm just going to go around this whole shape and just do the same thing. And you just keep going around that center layer until you are satisfied with how much glue you have on there, all that good stuff. And then you're just going to go in with your second color. And I'm going to use the Prussian blue. I think that's how you say it, Prussian blue from Glitter Grind. I really wanted to do a pretty blue geode for this one, so I just picked just a few shades. This one is actually a few shades lighter than the Skipper, so and that is really all there is to doing a geode tumbler. I like to go in with my chunky towards the middle, just because it's easier to keep it whenever you do go in and seal the glitter. It's easier to keep it kind of in its little place. So you'll see me go in twice here in just a minute with the chunky glitter, and then I will do my silver just to give it a little bit of contrast. So I'm going to speed through these next few parts. You kind of get the idea of how you do this. You just keep going around until you meet everything up in the middle. So I'm going to speed through this next little bit here so this video is not 3 hours long, and then we will get to the next part. And here we are going in with our last layer of chunky glitter. We'll dust that off. And here you'll actually see, this is our geode. Turned out really pretty. And then here you'll actually see where I go in and I kind of fix a few of the little spots. So you can see I missed a little spot down there at the bottom. So I'll just go in and fix that real quick. And you can do this anytime during this process. I mean, if you see some, right in the middle of it where you didn't get enough glitter, or you have a bare spot because the glitter or the glue dried too fast, just go in and fix it. It's not going to hurt anything. So, and then there's one more spot that I'm going to do on this cup. I actually wanted this cup to have 2 geodes. I wanted it to have one on the top and one on the bottom. So I will go ahead and speed through this bottom layer. I'm doing it exactly the same way as I did the first geode. So we will go in and get that done. And again, little spot where I missed. We'll go in and get that done, and then we will move on, and I'll show you what it looks like right before our first coat of epoxy. Okay, here we go. I went ahead and did the handle as well. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to actually seal this with my glitter glue, or you can go in and spray it with 2 times Rust-Oleum Clear, any clear coat. I'm going to dust off that extra glitter, but we will get a few coats of epoxy on this. And first I'm going to smash it down after I seal it with the glitter glue, and I'll just use just a regular paintbrush to do that. And we will get it smashed down, and we'll get a couple of coats of epoxy on it, and I will see you back in a minute. Okay guys, we are back after 2 coats of epoxy and 1 sanding. We're all smooth. There are a couple of spots that I don't like, that where the glitter kind of floated off. I did put a little bit of glitter in the epoxy, a little bit of a blue glitter from Mr. Fancy Pants, but there are a couple of spots like right here where my glitter just didn't seal well enough. I didn't seal it well enough. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover that with some foil. So I'm just going to go around the edge of this whole thing with this pretty silver foil. This foil is from Southern Belle Glitter, and that will cover up those little spots right there where the glitter kind of got on the outside. So what we're going to do is we are going to put this foil on with Eileen's Tack It Over and Over. And I'll show you that as soon as I get everything out of the way. This bottle has been through the ringer, as you can see. But I'm just going to put a little bit of this Tack It Over and Over in a cup. And basically just take just like we did with our geode, and I just pour it straight into the cup, and you just need like a little bitty dot if you're going to do this. And I'm just going to go around the outside of this geode, and I want a really fairly slim line of the foil to show. And again, there's no rhyme or reason, guys. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's a geode. So as long as it's enough to cover up any, little mistakes. And this is a good tip. If you ever have a cup and you need to cover up, any mistakes, and it's not really a mistake, I guess, but it's just, I just don't like that. I don't like seeing that floating on the outside of the tumbler. But, this is a good way to cover up any imperfections. If you have room to put a foil on there or even cover it up with glitter or anything like that, you can do that. And again, this is after 2 coats of epoxy. So after we get this all around the outside of this geode, then we will let this tack it over and over. We'll let it dry till it's clear. And I'm actually going to take my heat gun and dry it a little bit just for the sake of the video. In the real world realm, I just set my cup down for about 10 or 15 minutes and let it dry on its own. So, and there was another spot on this side as well. So, and I wanted the geodes to match. They don't have to, but I wanted mine to match. So I just kind of did the same thing on the other side. So now I did have one issue on the bottom of this cup, so it dried a little bit unlevel, and I'm sorry you keep hearing my text messages go off there, but it's a little bit unlevel on the bottom, so I'll have to sand that and kind of fix that. But other than that, this cup really turned out really pretty. So I'm just doing a little bit on the handle here. So after that, tack it is dry and it's sticky to the, not dry, but it's sticky to the touch, which takes, like I said, on a normal basis, if you just let it dry by itself, it takes about 10-15 minutes. As you saw, I did it with my heat gun for just a second. So I'm just going to cut a strip of this foil, again from Southern Belle Glitter. If you have not checked out her foils, you guys, they're amazing, and you can do some gorgeous things to tumblers with them. You can do gorgeous things to a lot of things with these. So you can use them on wood and plastic and whatever. So we're just going to take that foil and put it on there, and we're going to rub it down. And I usually just use my little Cricut scraper doohickey to rub that in. And you just want to make sure it's rubbed in really well. And then when you pull this up, it leaves that really pretty silver right there on the handle. So I will go through and do this on the whole cup, and I'll kind of show you before I fast forward through. I'll kind of show you what I do on the side here. And again, this works the same way as the glitter glue. If there's any spots you miss, just go back. Or not the glitter glue, but the glitter. If there's any spots you miss, just go back. Try it again. If it doesn't come off, then put some more tack it on there, let it dry, and do it again. So, super easy to fix. But we're just going to take this, and I'm just putting it where that tack was, or is. I guess it's still there, isn't it? Just rubbing it down really well. Then when you peel it up, there's your little strip of foil. So this just kind of gave it, I mean, I kind of like that this happened. That way you guys can see, you know, if something happens on a cup that you don't like, there are ways to go and fix it without stripping the cup and starting all over and, you know, doing all that. So there are ways to fix it. Sometimes you kind of have to be creative, but this actually, I kind of like the depth that this foil gave this cup. So I'm going to go ahead and speed through the rest of this and get the rest of this foil on, and then I will see you guys at the end. Okay guys, that's my last little bit of foil right there. And this is what we ended up with. This cup will need 1 or 2 more coats of epoxy on it. And so after that's done, I'll come back and show you that. But again, you know, if there's any little spots that you miss or that you're not happy with, just go back in with foil. You know, go back in, put some more glue on it. And just redo the foil. It's very simple. I have to sand that down really well so it stands up straight, but after I sand that down and put another coat of epoxy on it, it should be fine. But this is going to be our final outcome. The next coat of epoxy I'll put on here will just be clear. So this turned into a beautiful cup, and I may end up putting a decal on it. I'm not sure yet, but I hope you guys really enjoyed this tutorial, and I will see you in the next one when we are using the Crystalac Grand Finale so I can get over this epoxy allergy. So I will see you guys then. Bye.